Have you ever felt that something inside you is changing, but you can't quite explain what it is? Imagine waking up one day and realizing your body is sending signals you've never noticed before. It sounds strange, doesn't it? But what if I told you these physical changes could be linked to your spiritual awakening? Let's take a quick pause. How many times have you wondered if those sudden chills, those inexplicable pains, or even that feeling of lightness have a deeper meaning? What if your body is trying to tell you something important? Now think about a moment in your life when you felt an inexplicable connection with the universe. Has that ever happened to you? What if those moments weren't just coincidences, but clear signs that you are in a process of spiritual transformation? If you enjoy this enlightening exploration, consider showing your support by clicking the Super Thanks button below. By supporting this channel, you become part of a community that values truth, self-discovery, and spiritual enlightenment. Stay with me, because throughout this video, we will explore together how these changes can be a reflection of something much bigger happening inside you. Let's uncover the mysteries your body is trying to reveal. Ready for this journey? Let's go. Of course, I'll share a bit of my experience about how these physical changes made me realize that something bigger was happening in my life. Recently, I started noticing intensified bodily sensations that I had never felt before. It was as if my body was more alive, more sensitive. Sometimes, I felt a tingling in my hands and feet, as if small waves of electricity were coursing through my extremities. This usually happened during meditation or when I was in a very calm place, almost as if my body was reacting to an energy around. There were also moments when I felt an inexplicable warmth in certain parts of my body, especially in my chest and back. It was a comforting sensation, as if something was opening up inside me. In addition to the tingling and warmth, other sensations began to emerge. There were occasions when I felt vibrations in different parts of my body, especially in the palms of my hands. These vibrations were not uncomfortable, but rather intriguing. I wondered what was causing these sensations. Sometimes, during deep conversations or while reading about spiritual topics, I felt chills running down my spine, as if my body was responding to something true and important. These sensations became so frequent that I could no longer ignore them. Over time, I realized that these sensations also included a change in tactile perception. There were moments when I felt my body heavier, as if it was being pulled down, and other times when I felt incredibly light, almost as if I could float. These changes in physical perception seemed connected to my emotional and mental states. For example, in moments of great clarity or insight, my body felt light and expansive. In moments of deep introspection, there was a heaviness, as if I was being anchored. These sensations were clear signs to me that something was moving on a deeper level. Another aspect that changed significantly was my sleep. I used to have a very regular sleep pattern, but suddenly I started having nights of insomnia for no apparent reason. I just couldn't shut my mind off, which seemed to be in a constant state of alert and activity. On other nights, I slept like a rock, but woke up several times during the night without reason. It seemed like my body was adjusting to something, but I didn't know exactly what. There were also periods when I needed much more sleep than usual, as if my body needed extra time to recover or process something. My dreams also underwent a significant transformation. Suddenly, I started having very vivid and symbolic dreams. They were dreams that seemed loaded with meaning, as if they were trying to communicate something important. I saw images and scenes I had never seen before, and often woke up with a feeling of having received a message. In some dreams, I found myself in places that seemed familiar, but that I knew I had never visited. These dreams left me with a sense of deep connection with something greater, as if I were in contact with a deeper aspect of myself. If you enjoy this enlightening exploration, consider showing your support by clicking the Super Thanks button below. By supporting this channel, you become part of a community that values truth, self-discovery, and spiritual enlightenment. These changes in sleep and dreams made me question what was happening. I started paying more attention to my dreams, writing them down and trying to decipher their meanings. I realized that many of the dreams brought insights and answers to questions I was facing in my daily life. It was as if my subconscious was working together with my conscious mind to help me understand and navigate these changes. Over time, I started to see these sleep disruptions and vivid dreams as part of a spiritual awakening process where my body and mind were adjusting to a new reality. Another notable change was in my diet and food sensitivity. I had always been someone who enjoyed eating everything, but suddenly I started feeling an aversion to processed and heavy foods. My body simply couldn't tolerate them as before. I started feeling a strong attraction to more natural and fresh foods. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and unprocessed foods began to be part of my daily diet. It was as if my body was asking for foods that would help it maintain a high vibrational state. Besides changes in food preferences, I noticed an increase in food sensitivities and intolerances. Foods I used to eat without problems started causing discomfort, such as bloating, stomach aches, and fatigue. It was a process of trial and error to discover what my body accepted well and what it didn't. This new sensitivity made me rethink my relationship with food and how it affects my body and energy. I began to see food not just as a physical necessity, but as a way to nourish my body on a deeper level. I realized that these changes in diet were directly related to my vibrational state. My body seemed to be adjusting to a new frequency and for that, needed foods that supported this transformation. Over time, I learned to listen to my body and its needs, adjusting my diet according to what made me feel more energized and balanced. This new relationship with food was an important part of my spiritual awakening process, helping me maintain a deeper connection with my body and my energy. Speaking of unexplained physical symptoms, this was one of the most confusing and at the same time revealing things for me. I started having headaches that appeared out of nowhere without any apparent reason. They were different from the headaches I was used to, as if they were coming from an internal tension or pressure. Additionally, I started feeling a fatigue that wouldn't go away, even after a good night's sleep. It was a constant feeling of tiredness, as if my body was going through an intense adjustment process. Muscle and joint pains also became more frequent. Sometimes I woke up with pains in places I had never felt pain before. It was as if my body was releasing tensions accumulated over the years. These pains were not constant, but appeared and disappeared without warning. I went to the doctor a few times, but all tests came back normal. It was then that I started considering that these pains might be related to something beyond the physical, something more energetic. I realized that these symptoms could be signs that my body was releasing blocked energy or adjusting its energy field. I started paying more attention to these signals and treating them with more care, using practices such as meditation, yoga, and breathing techniques to help relieve the pains and fatigue. Over time, I was able to see these symptoms not as something negative, but as part of my growth and spiritual transformation, a sign that my body was adjusting to a new reality. These initial topics really made me realize that the physical changes I was experiencing were clear signs of a spiritual awakening. Each sensation, each change in sleep, each dietary shift, and each unexplained physical symptom was an important piece of the puzzle that helped me better understand what was happening to me. By accepting and embracing these changes, I was able to navigate this process in a more conscious and connected way. Speaking of changes in sensory perception, this was one of the most intriguing things I experienced. It all started subtly. I noticed that certain sounds which I previously ignored now seemed more intense, almost deafening. The noise of traffic, for example, which I was used to ignoring, started to deeply irritate me. On the other hand, softer sounds like birds singing or the sound of rain became incredibly pleasant and relaxing. It was as if my auditory system had adjusted to pick up frequencies I hadn't noticed before. Another sensory change I noticed was related to light. Sunlight seemed brighter, almost blinding on certain days. I felt a greater need to wear sunglasses or avoid direct light. On the other hand, natural light made me feel more energized and at peace. At night, artificial light seemed more intrusive, and I began to prefer environments with soft and natural lighting. This made me rethink the environment I lived in and work to make it more harmonious and pleasant for my senses. Smells also underwent a transformation. Scents that were neutral or pleasant before, like certain perfumes or cleaning products, started to bother me. On the other hand, I began to appreciate natural smells like plants, flowers, and fresh foods. It was as if my sense of smell was adjusting to prefer everything more natural and less artificial. This led me to seek products and environments that were more aligned with this new sensitivity, creating a healthier and more harmonious space for myself. One of the most surprising experiences was starting to see auras. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but over time I realized I could see light-colored outlines around people and objects. This perception was not constant, but appeared mainly during moments of meditation or deep concentration. Seeing auras made me feel more connected to people and the environment around me, as if I were capturing a deeper layer of reality. I also started hearing high-frequency sounds like faint buzzing or bells, especially during moments of silence or meditation. These sounds were not uncomfortable, but rather fascinating. Researching a bit, I discovered that these sounds could be signs of energetic adjustment or spiritual communication. This made me pay more attention to the moments when these sounds appeared and try to understand what they might be telling me. With all these changes in sensory perception, I started seeing the world in a different way. There was a new layer of reality that I was beginning to explore and understand. These experiences made me realize that spiritual awakening is not just an internal process, but also involves greater sensitivity and connection with the world around us. Every sound, every light, every aroma became an important part of this journey, helping me connect more deeply with my environment and other people. The heightened sensory perception also helped me develop greater empathy. I began to notice the emotions and energies of the people around me more clearly. In conversations, I could sense the truth in people's words in a way I had never experienced before. This made me more compassionate and attentive, not just to words, but also to the energies and emotions of people. It was as if I could capture the essence of what was being communicated beyond the words. These changes in perception helped me understand that spiritual awakening is not just about introspection, but also about greater connection and interaction with the world around us. Every sensation, every perception became a tool to navigate this new reality, helping me understand myself and the environment I live in better. Another thing I noticed during this spiritual awakening process was the intensification of emotions. Suddenly, I started feeling everything more deeply and intensely. Emotions that were fleeting before now seemed to last longer and had a deeper impact on me. Feelings of joy, sadness, love, and even anger were experienced in a way that seemed much more vivid and real. This intensification of emotions led me to explore and understand my feelings better. I started practicing more introspection and meditation, seeking to understand the origin and meaning of each emotion. I realized that many of these intensified emotions were related to processes of healing and releasing past traumas. It was as if my body and mind were working together to cleanse and purify old emotions that were still stuck in me. Despite being a challenging process, it was also incredibly liberating. Allowing myself to feel and process these intense emotions helped me release a lot of blocked energy and return to a state of balance and peace. Over time, I began to see these intensified emotions not as something negative, but as an opportunity for healing and growth. They were signs that I was advancing on my spiritual path, releasing what no longer served me and making space for new experiences and feelings. This process of emotional intensification also helped me develop greater empathy and compassion for myself and others. Feeling my own emotions so deeply made me realize how much we all carry inside us. This helped me be more understanding and supportive of the people around me, recognizing that we are all on a journey of healing and growth. In addition to emotions, my intuition also became stronger. I started having hunches and insights that proved true with impressive frequency. It was as if a new layer of knowledge was opening up to me, allowing me to see and understand things that were previously invisible. This strengthened intuition helped me make decisions with more confidence and navigate challenging situations with greater clarity. For example, there were moments when, without any apparent reason, I felt an urgent need to avoid certain places or people. Later, I would find out that something negative had happened in those places or that those people were going through difficult situations. These hunches helped me protect my energy and stay aligned with my spiritual path. Intuition also guided me in moments of uncertainty, helping me find answers and solutions to problems that seemed unsolvable. It was as if a soft but powerful inner voice was always present, ready to guide and support me. Trusting this intuition was one of the biggest challenges, and at the same time, one of the greatest blessings of my spiritual awakening. These physical and emotional changes were clear signs that something profound was happening inside me. Every sensation, every intensified emotion, every hunch was an important part of my spiritual awakening process. By accepting and embracing these changes, I was able to navigate this journey in a more conscious and connected way, opening myself up to a new reality full of possibilities and growth. As I continued to explore and understand these changes, I realized that many people around me were going through similar experiences. Talking with others about their spiritual journeys helped me feel less alone and understand that this was part of a larger process. Sharing experiences and insights with others helped strengthen my own journey and develop a support network that was essential for my growth. The spiritual awakening journey is unique for each person, but there are many common points we can share and learn from each other. The intensified bodily sensations, changes in sleep and dreams, dietary changes and food sensitivities, unexplained physical symptoms, and changes in sensory perception were all important signs for me. They helped me see that I was going through a profound transformation and that my body and mind were adjusting to a new reality. This process can be challenging and sometimes confusing, but it is also incredibly rewarding. Every change, every sensation, and every intensified emotion is an opportunity to grow, heal, and connect more deeply with yourself and the world around you. By accepting and embracing these changes, we can navigate this journey in a more conscious and connected way, opening ourselves up to a new reality full of possibilities and growth. These experiences taught me the importance of listening to and trusting my body and intuition. Every sensation, every change in sleep, every dietary shift, and every physical symptom was a sign that something bigger was happening. By paying attention to these signs and following my intuition, I was able to navigate this journey in a more conscious and connected way. The spiritual awakening journey is ongoing, and I am sure there is still much to discover and understand. Each day brings new experiences and opportunities to grow and evolve. This journey taught me to live more consciously and presently, appreciating every moment and every sensation as part of a larger process of transformation and growth. Finally, I want to say that although this journey can be challenging, it is also incredibly beautiful and rewarding. Every change, every sensation, and every emotion is an opportunity to grow and connect more deeply with yourself and the world around you. By accepting and embracing these changes, we can navigate this journey in a more conscious and connected way, opening ourselves up to a new reality full of possibilities and growth. And so, my friends, we come to the crucial point of our spiritual journey. The physical changes are just the tip of the iceberg. Have you ever stopped to think about how these signs might be the beginning of something much bigger? Our body is an incredible machine, capable of adapting and evolving as our consciousness awakens. Now reflect with me. Could those persistent headaches, changes in sleep patterns, or even the tingling sensation in certain parts of your body have something to do with your spiritual awakening? Could this be your body trying to communicate with you, telling you it's time to look deeper within yourself? And if I say that these physical transformations are just the beginning of a journey that can completely change your life? How about investigating more deeply how these signs might be the key to unlocking a new level of consciousness? Are you ready to dive even deeper into this journey of self-knowledge and transformation? If you found this exploration insightful and transformative, consider showing your support by clicking the Super Thanks button below. Your contribution helps us continue bringing you valuable content that delves deep into spirituality and reveals ancient wisdom. Ask yourself, what signs is my body sending me right now? How can I interpret these changes to benefit my spiritual growth? Am I paying enough attention to the messages the universe is sending me through my own body? And more, have you talked with others about their experiences? How do they deal with these changes? How about sharing your own experiences in the comments and creating a support network and exchange of knowledge? Believe me, you are not alone on this journey, and sharing your experiences could be the next step in your awakening. Now imagine if you could understand each of these signs more clearly. How would that transform your life? How would it impact the way you see the world and yourself? Think about it, explore, question, and above all, continue your quest for knowledge. Spiritual awakening is a continuous journey full of discoveries. And remember, each small physical sign could be the beginning of something grand. The next step, stay tuned, because we have much more to explore together here at the Sanctum of Wisdom. Until next time, and don't forget to always seek the wisdom within you.